Most Russian Tsars and emperors pursued policies of annexation and expansion, enlarging the borders of the empire. Peter I opened the windows to Europe. Catherine II was obsessed with the ideas of partitioning Poland and the Ottoman Empire. Alexander II was driven by the ideas of Pan-Slavism. By the reign of Nicholas II, the international situation had set limits to Russian expansion in the western and southern directions. The East remained. The Tsar embarked on the Great Asian Program. As recalled by Prime Minister Sergei Witte, Nicholas dreams of taking on the title of the Chinese Bod Han and the Japanese Mikado. Modest dreams, wouldn't you agree? In the latter half of the 19th century, following the Meiji Restoration, Japan abandoned its policy of isolation and set a course for modernization. Massive reforms were implemented, modern industries were established, the army and navy were restructured along Western lines. Japan gained strength and began contemplating expansion primarily into Korea and China. In the lightning-fast war of 1895, Japan wrested the strategically important Liaodong Peninsula from China. Russia, France, and Germany issued an ultimatum and forced Japanese people to withdraw from the peninsula. Japanese people began to dream of revenge and prepare for it. For its mediation, Russia obtained from the alien Chinese Empire the right to lease ice-free ports on the peninsula. And soon, to quell a rebellion and save the Qin dynasty, Russian troops entered Manchuria and, despite their promised intentions, showed no intention of leaving. Nicholas II received a confidential proposal from Japanese government to divide spheres of influence. Manchuria for Russia, China for Japan. But this seemed insufficient to the Russian Tsar. There was another personal reason why Nicholas disliked Japan. In 1891, the future emperor was on a round-the-world tour, and in Japan, a fanatic samurai attempted to assassinate him. The heir received 2 saber blows to the head. At the time, this incident did not cause any international tension, but Tsar always remembered the insult.
Watch this!
Further actions of St. Petersburg today would be called a hybrid war. Disguised as lumberjacks, soldiers and officers were secretly sent to Korea, where military facilities were constructed. Among the imperial entourage and military circles, there prevailed the belief that the war would be very swift, that Russia would initiate it whenever desired, and that victory would be swift and easy. Xenophobic sentiments were always present in Russian society. Newspapers at that time shaped a contemptuous views of the Japanese nation. Japan was depicted as a weak and inconsequential country far away. The emperor himself, and after him the whole society, contemptuously called the Japanese macaques and did not perceive them as a serious military force. The encounter with the real Japanese, disciplined and courageous, was a surprise. The self-deception into which Russian propaganda plunged the military dissipated, but the cost was too high. How can you not see a parallel with the war that Russia unleashed in Ukraine, in the hope of a 3-day victory march?